Hello. If you are watching this video right now, I want you to stop for a moment and listen very carefully. This is not a coincidence. This video is a sign that you are tired, a sign that your heart is heavy, a sign that you have been trying to control everything and it is not working. Maybe you are overthinking. Maybe you are worried about your future. Maybe something in your life is not going the way you wanted, and deep inside, you feel lost. You smile in front of people, but inside, you are fighting silent battles. And today, you found this video for a reason. Sometimes when life becomes too heavy, the universe does not speak in a loud voice. It sends you a message through a moment, through a person, or through a video like this. Perhaps today, this is your message. A message to slow down. A message to stop worrying. A message to finally let go. Because the truth is, you were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your own shoulders. There is a higher power watching over you, guiding you, and protecting you, even when you cannot see it. Today, you are going to learn something that can completely change your life. How to stop trying to control every outcome and start trusting the process. If you truly listen to what I am about to share, your stress will melt away, your heart will feel lighter, and your mind will finally find the peace it has been searching for. So stay with me until the very end. This is not just another video. This might be the exact moment your life begins to change for the better. Lesson 1. The illusion of control. Let me tell you something that most people find very hard to accept. You are not in control of everything. Think about it. You wake up every single morning with a list in your head. You plan your day, you plan your career, you plan your future. You tell yourself, I will do this, I will reach that goal, and everything will go exactly according to my vision. But life has a way of ignoring your plans. Sometimes things go your way, sure, but often they do not. You face sudden problems, you experience unexpected setbacks, and you feel the sting of pain when things fall apart. You sit there, exhausted, asking, why is this happening to me? I did everything right. I worked so hard. And yes, you did try your best, but here is the truth you need to internalize. You are responsible for your effort, but you are not in control of the final result. Think of it like a gardener. You can plant the best seeds, you can water the soil, and you can pull the weeds. That is your part. That is your effort. But you cannot force the sun to shine. You cannot command the rain to fall. And you cannot force the plant to grow exactly when you want it to. When you try to control the weather, you only end up frustrated. Most people suffer because they try to play God with the results. They try to control the people around them. They try to micromanage every situation. And they try to force the future to look a certain way. And when things don't go exactly as planned, they break. They feel anxious, they feel stressed, and they feel afraid. But tell me honestly, can you control time? Can you control how other people think? Can you control every event that will happen tomorrow? No, you cannot. So why are you exhausting yourself trying? That pressure in your chest, that constant heaviness you feel every day, that is not because life is bad. It is because you are trying to carry a weight that was never meant for you to hold. There are only two things in life. First, what you can control: your actions, your effort, your mindset, and your choices. Second, what you cannot control: the final results, the timing of life, and the actions of others. When you mix these two up, your life becomes chaos. This is where faith begins. You do your part with total honesty. You give your absolute best. You stay disciplined. And then you say, I have done everything I possibly could. Now I leave the rest to the universe. That moment of letting go is the moment your mind finds peace, because you stop fighting life and start trusting it. Lesson 2. Surrender is not weakness, it is power. When people hear the word surrender, they often feel a sense of discomfort. Many assume that to surrender means to give up, to throw in the towel, or to admit defeat. They worry that if they stop fighting, they will lose their edge. But I am here to tell you that this is a complete misunderstanding. Surrender is not about quitting on your life. It is about giving up the exhausting illusion that you are the one holding the entire universe together. Think about the difference between a tight grip and an open hand. When you hold on to something with all your might, your plans, your worries, your expectations, you are tense, your muscles are locked, and your mind is constantly on edge. You are so focused on keeping your grip that you cannot see the opportunities passing you by. Surrender is simply loosening that grip. It is the act of saying, I will do my best, but I will not sacrifice my inner peace just to force a result. Real strength is not about how hard you can push. It is about how much you can trust. It is incredibly easy to overthink. It is easy to spiral into worry about what might happen tomorrow. But it takes true, deep strength to look at a situation you do not understand and say, I do not have all the answers, but I trust that I am being taken care of. That is a power that most people never tap into. Look at how much energy you burn through every single day just by replaying past mistakes or imagining worst-case scenarios. You are draining your battery on things that haven't even happened yet. Your mind becomes tired, your heart grows heavy, and you feel stuck. This isn't because your life is too hard. It is because you are holding on way too tightly. When you finally choose to surrender, something shifts. You start to feel calm even when things are uncertain. You feel grounded even when the world around you feels chaotic. You feel a new kind of strength because you are no longer relying solely on your own limited power. You are aligning yourself with something much bigger than yourself. You stop forcing life to fit into your small box, and you start flowing with the rhythm of life itself. When you do that, the weight finally lifts, your mind clears, and your heart becomes steady. You aren't weak for letting go. You are finally free. Lesson 3. When life breaks you, it is preparing you. There are chapters in your life where everything seems to fall apart at once. The plans you carefully laid out fail. The people you leaned on walk away, and the goals you worked toward seem to vanish into thin air. In those moments, you do not just feel a little down, you feel completely shattered. You sit in the quiet, asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Why does my life feel like it is falling to pieces? Your faith starts to flicker, and you feel like you are losing your footing. But listen to me closely. What feels like a breakdown is often a breakthrough in disguise. You see pain, but there is a transformation happening beneath the surface. You see a loss, but there is a redirection guiding you towards something better. You see an ending, but life is setting the stage for a new beginning. The problem is that when you are stuck in the middle of the storm, you cannot see the bigger picture. Think of a mountain climber. Before they can reach the peak, they have to endure the harsh conditions of the base camp. They have to train in the cold, carry a heavy pack, and push through exhaustion. It feels like they are breaking their body, but in reality, they are building the strength they need to reach the summit. The training is not there to destroy them. It is there to prepare them. The same thing is happening in your life right now. You might feel like your confidence, your plans, and your emotions are being worn down. But perhaps you are not being destroyed. You are being rebuilt into someone stronger, wiser, and more patient than you ever were before. The version of you that you are becoming cannot be created in comfort. It is forged in the struggle. It is built in those long, lonely nights when you felt like giving up, but decided to keep going anyway. Sometimes the universe removes things from your life, not to hurt you, but to protect you. Sometimes it delays your success not to punish you, but to prepare you for a responsibility you are not yet ready for. So, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this trying to teach me? That one shift in perspective changes everything. You stop seeing your pain as a punishment and start seeing it as the necessary preparation for your next level. Lesson 4. The bigger plan. One of the hardest pills to swallow in life is that things simply do not always go the way you want them to. You map out your future, you chase specific dreams, and you imagine exactly how your life should unfold. You tell yourself, this is what I need. This is what is best for me. But then, life says no. Doors slam shut, opportunities fall through, and the path you were so sure about suddenly disappears. In those moments, you feel confused, disappointed, and sometimes even angry. You think, I worked so hard for this. I prayed for this. Why didn't it happen? But here is a perspective that might change everything. Just because you want something doesn't mean it is right for you. You see your immediate desire, but the universe sees your entire destiny. You see a single moment in time, but there is a master map that includes your long-term growth. You focus on what feels good right now, but there is a deeper wisdom that knows what will be good for you 5 or 10 years down the road. Think of it like a child wanting to play with a sharp knife because it looks shiny. The parent says no, not because they don't love the child, but because they love the child too much to let them get hurt. Sometimes the closed doors in your life are exactly that, protection from something that would have caused you more harm than good. Look back at your own history. Think about the things you desperately wanted a few years ago that never happened. At the time, you were probably devastated. But now, when you look back, aren't you thankful? You can see clearly that if those things had gone your way, your life would be in a much worse place today. That is the bigger plan in action. It rarely makes sense in the moment, but it always makes sense in the end. Rejection is not always failure. Often, it is just protection. A delay is not a denial. It is a preparation. When a door closes, it is not the end of your story. It is a redirection. You are not being ignored. You are being guided. Even when everything feels like a mess, there is a better plan designed for your growth and your true happiness. So, when life doesn't go your way, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try saying, I trust the plan more than I trust my own limited view. That one sentence is incredibly powerful. It releases the need to control every detail and allows you to walk forward with the confidence that you are exactly where you need to be. Lesson 5. The silent season. There are times in your life where it feels like you are stuck in a waiting room. You are praying, you are putting in the work, but you see absolutely nothing changing. The silence starts to feel heavy, and a dangerous thought creeps into your mind. Is anyone even listening? Maybe you feel like you have been forgotten, or that your efforts are just disappearing into a void. This is the moment where most people walk away, because we are wired to believe that if we cannot see progress, nothing is happening. But I want you to listen closely. Just because you cannot see the change does not mean the work has stopped. The most significant shifts in life often happen in total silence. Think about a construction site for a massive skyscraper. For months, you might look at that site and see nothing but a deep hole in the ground. No walls, no windows, no structure. From the outside, it looks like a waste of time. But underneath that surface, the foundation is being poured, the steel is being set, and the support systems are being locked into place. Without that invisible work, the building would never stand. The same thing is happening in your life right now. You might feel like your career, your relationships, or your personal growth are at a standstill, but deep down, you are being built. Your patience is being tested, your character is being strengthened, and you are learning lessons that you simply could not learn if you were already at the finish line. If success came instantly, you would not be ready to handle the weight of it. God's silence is never an absence. It is a preparation. Sometimes, things are being moved around behind the scenes to clear your path. Sometimes, people are being quietly removed so that you are not held back when your moment finally arrives. You don't see it now, but one day it will all click into place. You will look back and realize that the delay was actually a form of protection and that the silence was actually a training ground. So if you are in a silent season right now, do not panic. Do not lose your hope, and do not assume that nothing is happening. While you are busy doubting and questioning, there is a process unfolding that is far bigger than your current vision. Instead of saying, "Nothing is moving in my life," start saying, "Something is being built in the background that I cannot see yet." That belief will give you the fuel to keep moving. You are not being ignored. You are being prepared for a breakthrough that is worth the wait. Lesson 6. God's timing is always perfect. One of the most common reasons people struggle is a clash with timing. You want things and you want them right now. You pray for a breakthrough, you work for a promotion, or you dream of a new beginning, and you expect instant results. When things don't happen on your clock, you feel frustrated. You start to feel like you are falling behind, and before you know it, you are comparing your behind-the-scenes journey to someone else's highlight reel. You wonder, why is my life so slow? When will it finally be my turn? But listen carefully. Just because your blessing is delayed does not mean it is denied. There is a massive difference. Delay is simply a core part of a bigger plan because the universe does not operate on your schedule. It operates on the perfect schedule. Think of a fruit tree. You cannot force a flower to bloom before its season, and you certainly cannot force a fruit to ripen overnight. If you try to pick the fruit while it is still green, you will only end up with something bitter that leaves you disappointed. Timing is not just about getting what you want. It is about becoming the person who is actually capable of sustaining it. Sometimes, God is not just preparing your blessing. He is preparing you for the blessing. That takes time. You need the extra patience, the deeper strength, and the maturity to handle what is coming your way. If your dream arrived too early, it might overwhelm you. If it came too late, you might lose your fire. But when it arrives at the perfect time, it transforms everything. Look at the natural world. The sun rises at the exact right moment. The seasons shift with perfect precision. Flowers bloom when the temperature is just right. If nature follows such perfect timing, why do you doubt that your life is any different? You are not running late. You are exactly where you need to be on your own path. So stop rushing, stop comparing yourself to others, and stop acting like you are missing the boat. You are not late. You are just in the middle of your process. Your moment is coming, but it will arrive according to a clock much wiser than your own. Until that day comes, keep believing, keep showing up, and keep trusting. Remind yourself every single day that even if you don't understand the wait right now, the timing is perfect. And when your time finally comes, you will look back and realize that every second of the wait was worth it. Lesson 7. The test of faith. There are moments when everything in your life seems to hit a wall at the same time. Nothing feels clear, nothing is moving forward, and every simple task feels like a mountain you have to climb. You pray for a way out, but the answers don't seem to arrive. You wait for a sign, but the silence remains. In those dark moments, it is natural to feel weak. You might find yourself asking, why is life so hard? Why is this happening to me? You might even feel like throwing in the towel. But listen to this very carefully. What you are walking through is not a punishment. It is a test. Yes, life is testing you, but not to see you fail. It is testing you to see how deep your faith really goes. It is incredibly easy to trust when life is smooth, when you are happy, and when everything is falling into place. Anyone can say they have faith when they are on top of the world. But what about when you are down in the valley? What about when you are alone, confused, and feeling like the walls are closing in? That is where your true faith is revealed. Think of it like a student in a classroom. A student can study for months, but how do we know if they truly understand the material? We give them a test. Without that exam, there is no proof of growth. Life works the same way. It puts you through challenges not to knock you down, but to show you what you are made of, to reveal your patience, your resilience, and your ability to trust even when you cannot see the finish line. Right now, you might be in the middle of a test of patience or a test of strength. It feels uncomfortable, and it definitely feels painful. But understand this: God does not give the heaviest tests to the weakest people. He gives them to those who are strong enough to grow through them. If your life feels heavy right now, it is not because you are unlucky. It is because you are being prepared for a much higher level of purpose. How you respond to this test will decide your future. You have a choice. You can complain, blame your circumstances, and give up. Or you can choose to stay patient. You can keep your head up, stay strong, and keep your faith. When you choose to trust even when it is hard, you change the outcome. You stop being the person who breaks under pressure and start being the person who grows because of it. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" start saying, "I know this is a test, and I have the strength to pass it." That one thought changes your entire mindset. You stop seeing your problems as pain and start seeing them as the path to your purpose. Lesson 8. Believe God for the impossible. There will come a day when you look at your life and see a wall that seems impossible to climb. No solutions, no clear path, and absolutely no hope in sight. You look at your situation and everything feels too broken, too messy, or too far gone to ever be fixed. Deep down, a quiet, nagging voice whispers, "This is never going to change. This is just how it is." That voice is not faith. That voice is fear. Too many people spend their entire lives listening to that fear, letting it shrink their dreams until they accept a life much smaller than the one they were meant for. But listen to this very carefully. What is impossible for you is not impossible for the Creator. You are limited. Your strength, your knowledge, and your vision have boundaries. But the divine power guiding you does not. He can open doors you didn't even know existed. He can carve out paths where there was only a dead end. He can turn your biggest mess into your greatest miracle. But there is one condition. You have to choose to believe. Not just when things are going great, but especially when everything screams that it is impossible. Belief is the bridge between where you are standing right now and where you want to be. Without it, you are stuck. With it, everything can shift. I know that sounds simple, but how do you actually believe when your world is falling apart? Let's break it down into 3 simple steps. First, start with small trust, not giant faith. You don't need to force yourself to feel 100% confident immediately. Just start with a little bit of trust. Say, "I don't fully understand how this will work, but I am willing to trust a little bit today." That is enough to get the ball rolling. Second, change the way you talk to yourself. If you spend your day repeating, "Nothing will change, my life is finished," then your mind will accept that as your truth. Instead, try saying, "I am being guided. Something good is on the horizon. I trust that a way is being made for me." Even if you don't feel it yet, keep saying it. Your mind listens to your words, and eventually, that fear will give way to a steady, quiet faith. Third, look back at your own history. Think about the times in the past when you thought you were at the end of your rope. You felt lost, you felt broken, and you thought there was no way out. But somehow, you survived. You grew, you moved forward. That wasn't just luck, that was grace in action. If you were helped before, why would you believe you will be abandoned now? You didn't come this far to be left behind. So, when doubt tries to take over, remind yourself, if I was carried through that, I will be carried through this too. Stop looking for proof. Stop trying to see the whole map, and just take the next step. You don't need to know how it happens. You just need to believe that it is happening for your good. Lesson 9. Do your best and leave the rest. There is a common misunderstanding that faith means sitting back and doing nothing. People often think that if they trust God, they should just wait for a miracle to fall into their lap. But let me set the record straight. Real faith is not laziness, and it is not an excuse to avoid responsibility. It is actually the opposite. True faith is the balance between working like everything depends on you and praying like everything depends on God. Think of it as a partnership. You have been given hands to work, a mind to think, and the energy to move forward. That is your part of the deal. You must show up, you must be disciplined, and you must give your absolute best effort. But once you have done all you can, you have to know where to draw the line. This is where peace begins. You plant the seed, you water it, and you protect it. That is your role. But the actual growth? That is out of your hands. That is where you leave the rest to the divine. When you try to carry the burden of the outcome, you are setting yourself up for burnout. You start obsessing over things you cannot control. Will I fail? What if people judge me? What if this doesn't work out? That constant mental chatter will steal your joy and drain your strength. But when you adopt the mindset of doing your best and releasing the result, your soul finally gets a chance to breathe. You stop trying to play the role of the creator and start living your life as a participant. Doing your best doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It doesn't mean you won't ever make mistakes or feel tired. It simply means you are being honest with your effort. It means when you show up fully. And when you close your eyes at night, you can sleep in peace because you know you didn't hold anything back. If you want a better life, you have to be serious about the one you have been given. So yes, trust deeply, but also wake up and take action. Read, learn, grow, heal, and keep going. Even if things don't turn out the way you expected, your effort is never wasted. Every attempt you make builds your character, your patience, and your resilience. God doesn't just see the final result, He sees the heart behind your struggle. So do your part and let go of the rest. Stop checking the soil every hour to see if the seed has sprouted. Trust the process, do the work, and have the courage to let the outcome unfold in its own time. You are doing enough, and you are exactly where you need to be. To wrap things up, I want you to remember that everything we talked about today is a journey, not a destination. You are not going to be perfect at letting go overnight, and that is okay. Some days you will feel completely at peace, and other days you might find yourself slipping back into worry and control. That is just part of being human. The important thing is that you keep choosing to trust. You keep choosing to surrender. You keep choosing to believe that you are being guided, even when the path ahead looks foggy. Think of this video as a gentle reminder that you are never walking this road alone. You have a higher purpose, and you have a plan that is far greater than your current struggles. So tonight, when you lay your head down to sleep, try to let go of the day. Release the things you couldn't control, forgive yourself for the mistakes you made, and rest in the knowledge that you are safe. You are held. You are exactly where you need to be. If this message resonated with you today, I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below with the word trust to let me know that you are choosing to let go and move forward with peace. It helps more than you know to share your heart and connect with others on the same path. And if you found value in this, please consider subscribing to the channel so we can continue this journey of growth and faith together. Take a deep breath, keep your chin up, and remember, you don't have to carry the whole world on your shoulders. Let it go, trust the process, and let the best version of your life unfold. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.